Just a few years ago, I had no idea what dropshipping was. I didn't know what it even meant.
My name's James and I recently joined Lewis Smith's Dropship Unlocked Masterclass.
I had no idea how you could sell products and get them to your customers. I had no experience of digital marketing, e-commerce, anything like that. I was working for a not-for-profit housing association, which couldn't be further away from dropshipping. And now, fast forward a few years later, I've generated over £1 million in sales with dropshipping businesses. And now I teach others how to do the same with these YouTube videos. So let me take you through my journey so you can replicate that and achieve it faster if you listen to the advice scattered through the video. So let's get into my journey, the highs, the lows, the struggles, and the achievements, and how it's changed my life, both personally and for my career. So the beginning, as I said, I had no idea. I was a complete beginner, the same as anyone else who's never done dropshipping before. I had no advantage over other people. I wasn't doing marketing. I'd never had a degree. I had no idea of business. I didn't have entrepreneurs around me. I didn't in my friends and family. So I had to learn it all for myself. And all I knew was that there was another way. I was stuck in a 9-to-5 job and it didn't fulfill me at all. So all I knew was that there must be another way, and entrepreneurship and business and online business was calling out to me. So I got into dropshipping because I was desperate to get into an online business, and I realized that resonated with my values. I wanted to be running a business from anywhere in the world. I wanted to be able to do it just from a laptop, and I wanted to be able to do it fairly quickly because I wanted to leave my 9-to-5 job as fast as I could. So dropshipping, for those reasons, ticked all those boxes, and it was just down to me then to really put the work in to get to that position. Now, I started dropshipping and I was trying to learn from YouTube videos how to run Facebook ads and set up stores around products that you can find on AliExpress. So these were like £20 or £30 products, and I tried to sell things like no-tie shoelaces. I also tried to sell a game pad that was like Bluetooth that you put your phone into, and it was like a gaming controller. These are the type of things that I tried to sell, and they were complete failures. And I tried it for about a month. I was putting money into Facebook ads every day, and the bills were racking up and the sales weren't coming back. And I remember vividly, after having that first initial failure, having my head in my hands, so upset that my dream of becoming an online entrepreneur was never going to come true. And it took a lot of courage to realize that was just a lesson on the way, and it wasn't something that was going to define me. So that changed my mindset, because I realized that you're going to have failures all the way along your journey, from going from having no experience to making £1 million in sales and being a 7-figure entrepreneur. But you need to realize that you decide how you frame those failures. You can frame it as something that defines your identity, or you can frame it as something that's a learning lesson on your path to success that's necessary to get you to where you want to be. So it's up to you to decide that. So once I'd had that initial failure, I framed it in a way where I didn't say that I was a failure and I would never be able to achieve success online. I framed it in a way that was different, where I just realized that meant that I was not following the right model at the time. So instead, I looked online. I was thinking, right, okay, how can I get into a business that's genuine, that's going to be sustainable, that's going to be long term? And I found the Dropship Unlocked program by Lewis Smith. And so I signed up to that program, and it taught me step by step how to actually run a successful UK e-commerce business. And also it gave me a community of people that were also on that same path. And that was a game changer for me. From that moment on, I had people around me and I had a step-by-step guide. So I had all this energy that I knew I was going to put into building a business, but now I had the structure, which is the most important part, behind that energy to show me how to get there. So after 6 weeks or 6 or 7 weeks, I had my business set up, and a few months later, I was matching my income from my 9-to-5 job to the point where I was ready to leave my job. And a few months later, handed in my notice, knew that the income was coming from my e-commerce business, and I've gone full in since that date. Now, there's been lots of highs and lows and struggles from between then and now, and they're normally around being naive, not understanding how suppliers work, not understanding how Shopify works. For example, I had a big scare where I was setting up my business very, very early on. I had my first 5 suppliers on board, and I got an email on a Friday afternoon, oh, we're going to be dropping you. And all suppliers were just telling me that they were going to stop supplying me. And it's because they'd been reached out to by retailers in the space saying that we were too similar to other retailer stores. And it was never my intention, but I could see that there were similarities because I'd taken inspiration from other websites. So I had to look at my website, think about what my brand was, and completely change everything over the weekend. And for those few days over the weekend while I was doing all those changes, I couldn't sleep. I had that sick feeling in your stomach, and it felt like all that work I'd put in to get those first suppliers on board was going to waste. So I remember then on Monday waiting to give them a call and to email and explain that it was never my intention, that we'd now changed a lot on the website. Unfortunately, all but one supplier said, okay, we'll continue to work with you. And from that moment, I realized that it's very important to be individual. So it taught me a great lesson, but it was a fantastic lesson to learn on the way. Now, from that path, it wasn't a completely linear scale to go from there to £1 million. It was full of ups and downs to get there, but it was the most worthwhile journey that I've done in my life so far. And what it's done now is that I have freedom over where I live, freedom over how I spend my time, and I can do everything, all my work from a laptop in a few hours a day, and then I can spend the day how I choose to. So it's absolutely worthwhile, that path of highs and lows, but you just need to realize that there will be failures, and you need to adopt a growth mindset to actually work through those failures. Now, to speed up your journey, if you're considering leaving a 9-to-5 job and having an e-commerce business, the two main things to bear in mind is that you need to embrace learning, because you won't know anything right now. You need to be open-minded and take things on. And to be open to learning, you then should sign up to a training program, because you'll need the step-by-step guidance. And secondly, you'll need a community around you so that you can tell people when things aren't going well. If the training program, if you're stuck on anything in the program, you've got the community there to ask others how they got through that particular part of the program and that part of building their business. So those two things, they answer two important questions and things that you're lacking right now. You need tactical support and you need emotional support. Now, I first thought I only need tactical support, I just need to know how to do it. But I didn't realise, and it took me a while to realise, I actually needed the emotional support. I needed people around me helping me out when things were tough, and also people around me to keep patting me on the back when you make successes and you have wins along the way. So when you have a step-by-step program plus a community, you have both the tactical support and the emotional support that you need to really succeed. So if you want to speed up that path that I've been through, get yourself around people, get yourself in a step-by-step program, and then you'll be able to speed up that journey from having no experience to having a £1 million business in just a few short years. So the process of actually going from zero to £1 million business, as I said, it's ups and downs. I'm going to go through the steps that you need to keep in mind while you go through each of those steps. Firstly, you need to put business foundations in place and have a genuine limited company and a business bank account, because without that, you can't sign high quality suppliers. The second thing with an e-commerce business is you need to choose a niche range of products. You can't be super broad, because then you have no competitive advantage over people around you and customers won't trust your site. You then need to build a Shopify store that's simple so you can sign suppliers and start making sales. Then you need to sign those suppliers by showing them the store that you've built, by explaining that you will be sending sales to them, and you need to have a few suppliers on board. And then you need to start running ads to the products that those suppliers supply so you can generate traffic and consistent sales. Now, I go through this process in more detail in other videos, but if you keep in mind that that's the process that you'll need to follow and then just embrace learning to get there, then you'll be well on your way to having a successful e-commerce business as well. So my journey is the same as everyone else's. It will be full of challenges, obstacles, failures and successes. But what I know is that every challenge that you go through, when you embrace learning, a growth mindset and get around a community, it is the most enjoyable journey that you can take in life and the most meaningful. Yeah, you have a choice over what journey you take. Do you want to carry on in a 9-to-5? Do you want to be really good at video games? Or do you want to be really good at the game of business and the game of life? And I believe that by getting really good at the game of business and the game of life, you can improve your own life and the lives of everyone around you that you really care about. So for me, it's the most worthwhile and fulfilling journey to take, and it's made a huge difference to my life. So remember, you're not alone with your desire to build a successful business. You've got a community around you with this YouTube channel of people that are building their freedom. And so by being part of this community, you're on your way to really leaving a 9-to-5 job and having a successful business. So don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you like this type of video. Comment to let me know how you plan to go from no experience to having a successful e-commerce business, and drop the video a like if you enjoyed the one today. Okay, with that said, I'll recommend on the next screen the next video that I recommend you watch to really speed up your journey to becoming a 7-figure e-commerce entrepreneur. So that'll come up in the next screen. So thanks for watching this video, and I'll catch you in the next one.